What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western New York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today, once again, comes from the Ellicottville Brewing Company, and they are headquartered in Ellicottville, New York, and this is their Orange Dreamsicle. So this is a cream ale brewed with orange peel and other natural flavors. It comes in at 6.3% alcohol by volume, 11 IBUs at the time of review. This can is just over 6 weeks old. So it's been a while since I've reviewed something from Ellicottville on the channel. I think the last beer I reviewed from them was last October during the 10 Days of Pumpkin. They have a barrel-aged pumpkin beer that I reviewed. So I was like, you know what? Time to review something from them. In the middle of summer 2025. And I was like, all right, what have they released lately? Well, this is a brand new release. So this is trying to replicate the Orange Dreamsicle, or as I call them here in Buffalo, New York, Orange Creamsicles. Some people might refer to them as Orange Cream Pops, but you guys know the popsicle, orange, vanilla, it's delicious. And I haven't had like an actual orange creamsicle bar in a very long time, but I loved it growing up. So yeah, I'm really curious about this one. Now they do say other natural flavors on the label. However, that's a given with this one, in my opinion. The orange flavor in the orange creamsicles or orange dreamsicles are typically like candied. They're natural or maybe even artificial. So a lot of times I talk about natural flavors and I don't like seeing that on the label. However, in a situation like this, I kind of expect it. Does that make any sense? Like I kind of expect it, if they're trying to replicate an orange dreamsicle in cream ale form, I'm just anticipating some kind of natural flavor. So anyway, I'm gonna crack this one open and get into the hashtag proper glassware, although not really. This is a tasting glass. When I did the brewery tour back in, I think, the mid-2010s at Ellicottville, and this is, you know, what I don't think I've ever used this glass, but I thought, why not? You know, it's like, I think it's like 7 or 8 ounces. We should be all right. So let's crack this one open, get in the glass, see what we got going on here. Also, it's funny they go with a cream ale base. It makes sense. You know, you're going for an orange dreamsicle or an orange cream pop, so cream ale makes sense. However, we're also in Western New York where the Genesee Brewing Company's Jenny Cream Ale reigns supreme. So you'll see a lot of breweries do like a cream ale, you know, a lot of breweries will do like a regular cream ale, but they'll also do like a fun cream ale. I feel this is obviously a fun cream ale. So let's give it a pour into the glass here. So I'm anticipating this, you know, to have an orangey look to it, maybe a little bit darker than a regular cream ale. I don't really know. But yeah, I'd say that kind of looks like what I'd expect this beer to look like if I had no idea the color. I'd be like, yeah, it has kind of, you know, that orange color. Now, I haven't never used this glass. It's been in my cupboard for what, how many years? It has a little bit of Dirty Glass Mafia. I washed it out real well, but a little bit of Dirty Glass Mafia. So how does this beer look? You know what? I'm gonna pour a little bit more to try to get it to the top so it looks a little better. Try to see if we can get a better looking head as well. I don't even know what side the label is over here. What the fuck is wrong with me? Anyway, so how does this look in the hashtag proper glassware? Yeah, it looks like a cream ale. Has that, like, you know, again, kind of orange color. You'd say like a blonde color, but it's definitely a bit darker. Has some good clarity. Let me see if I can go through the side. You guys can see it. You'll see the shadow of my hand, or you can make it out slightly, but it does have some haze to it. Had about a finger of an off-white, creamy looking head with a little bit of soap sudsy tinge to it. Now just painting to a thin film, probably from the orange peel and all the natural flavors in there. Let's see if you can see maybe the contraband flashlight. Yeah, it's a little bit lighter. Decent carbonation in there. Nothing too crazy. Looks fine. Looks like kind of what I expected it looked like. I wish that head would have lasted a little bit longer, if I'm being honest. Some power tools going on if you hear that in the background. I don't know how well my microphone cancels that out, but somebody across the street is using power tools and doing some yard work and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, I gotta call a spade, right? This is okay in the nose. It definitely smells more like an authentic, like orange peel, like a zippy, zesty kind of orange aroma. But I'm really not getting any like vanilla or anything that would replicate an orange dreamsicle or an orange creamsicle. Just for the sake of review, I'll keep on calling it Orange Dreamsicle because that's the name of it, but it's hard for me to stop saying Orange Creamsicle because that's what I usually say. I will say the base is here, so if you're somebody who picks this up and wants that base cream ale, it has this nice, like grainy, almost biscuity kind of malt aroma. It's also a little bit like a floral hop kick as well. Just a slight one. I don't think there's lactose in here because I think they would, you know, mention it. But I do think maybe lactose would have helped out with that vanilla character. You know, it's just, This just smells like a lower ABV, like blonde ale with a little bit of orange peel. That's like, if I was doing a blind, that's kind of what I would say, because the orange is here, but it's more just like, again, that orange peel, orange rind, orange zest. Doesn't smell great. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Another sip. I'm going to come at this beer from two different angles. Number one is the angle of, if somebody looks at this label and goes, man, I love Orange Dreamsicles. Like, I love that dessert. Oh, it's a cream ale? Okay, 6.3%. Yeah, let me grab it. If you're excited from that standpoint, I think you're going to be disappointed in this beer. Now, the other aspect, or from the other position, is if you're somebody who would like a cream ale with an accentuation of orange and a little bit of vanilla, this would be the beer for you. If they called this an orange vanilla cream ale, I think it would make more sense to me than just an Orange Dreamsicle. Because an Orange Dreamsicle, I'm expecting an exact replica of that in the beer. With still being able to get the beer, but like a big blast of that, and I'm just not getting it. So, body mouthfeel. For 6.3%, this is impressive. This is like medium, higher side of medium. It's not thin, it's not watery. It kind of replicates a body that I would look for if I'm picking up this beer because it says Orange Dreamsicle, no doubt. The mouthfeel is very crisp. It has a moderate to touch over moderate carbonation, effervescent, spritzy, dancing on the tongue. But at the same time, it has a nice smoothness on the second half of the palate. Not really creamy whatsoever, so the creamy aspect, kind of disappointing, but I do think the smoothness with that nice carbonation works well. So I think the body and mouthfeel are actually pretty good for this. The taste lacks complexity, but not even that I need complexity, because this is a very simplistic beer. I just want orange vanilla and like the base cream ale, which isn't a complex style to begin with. Front to back, orange peel for sure. But it's more rindy, zesty, like a bittering, but also like a little bit of a sweet orange peel. That's front to back. There's an underlying grainy, biscuity malt character coming from the base cream ale. And then the finish, it has a little bit of that floral, earthy hop character. The main thing for me missing from this one is the vanilla, or what is supposed to replicate like the ice cream in this standpoint on the bar. Like, I'm thinking it should have a pretty decent blast of vanilla. It has a mild vanilla kind of character. And that's, I guess, the whole thing with this beer is that it's very mild. It's subdued, it's subtle. And maybe folks out there, that's what they're looking for, right? I picked this one up. I want a little bit more intensity to not only the aroma, but definitely the flavor. So, another sip. So it has a little bit of that orange cream vibe. I just want a little bit more. The beauty about this is that it doesn't come off artificial or natural. It doesn't really have like a huge, like, oh my God, that's definitely synthetic. Whether you're using natural flavors or artificial flavors, they can come off as synthetic. There's a lot of things that flavor-wise are naturally occur in this world that you taste them, you're like, that does not taste natural. But it's not chemically made. That's the difference between natural and artificial. I'm pretty sure is that natural is natural and artificial usually chemically made. So it doesn't taste synthetic, which is nice. However, it doesn't have a big enough flavor for me to really like get angry at it. Like, I'm not angered at whatsoever. Like, I'm not upset about it. It's just, I wanted a little bit more, I guess. I guess that's the whole thing with this one. I want a little bit more. 6.3%, you can't tell outside the body being bigger. No alcohol stringency, nothing. You don't expect it. No even warming in the chest. I think this is a okay to good beer. That's kind of where I'd put it. An okay to good beer. I enjoy it from one aspect, which is I think this is a easy going beer I could crush on a warm, or today hot summer's day. I think it's almost 90 degrees outside. Or could look at from the other angle, which is it's not an Orange Dreamsicle to a T, and that's kind of what I wanted out of this one, was an Orange Dreamsicle. It is what it is. I don't think this is a bad beer at all. I just wanted a little bit more out of it as a whole, and I'm not getting it. So, whatever. We're going to give it a decent score, but it's not going to get a crazy score. It's not going to get even a very good score. It's just going to get an okay to good score. So I'm going to give Ellicottville's Orange Dreamsicle, a low 3.75, will go 3.7. So the aroma, this was much better. The taste was much better than the aroma, if I'm just being honest with you. The aroma was somewhat disappointing to me. If, call a spade, it definitely was disappointing. But the taste was, I think, a little bit more in the wheelhouse of what I'm looking for sure. Price point availability, $13.99 a 4-pack. So you're talking, somewhere around, say, $3 to $4. We'll say $3.50 for a can. Yeah, it's all right to try. Would I rebuy this at $3.50 a can? Nah, I probably wouldn't rebuy this at all. Unless they came out with like a more improved, more intense version of this. I don't think I would circle back to this one. I just bought a single, so I don't think it's a bad price point. It's just not one I would rebuy at that price point. And availability, it's Ellicottville, and I know they're available throughout New York State, I think, for the most part. Definitely in Western New York. I think they get into a bunch of different states surrounding. I think like in there in Ohio. They might even be Michigan, Pennsylvania. I want to say somebody said where they were, but on here, yeah, they have a bunch of different ones. They have like California, Oklahoma, Oregon, Michigan. That's 10% deposit. Connecticut, Hawaii, Iowa, Massachusetts, Maine, New York, Vermont. I know that doesn't mean they're in all those states, just for the bottle return, the deposit. But I do know that they're in more than just New York State. Check out their website. I'm pretty sure they have a beer finder, or if not, you can probably find out if they ship to your state or you get distribution there. But yeah, anyway, if you've had this one before, please post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. I will say that the orange doesn't provide like any kind of tart or acidic vibe. This one isn't overly sweet as well. It has a nice sweetness, and it leans sweet, like 60-40 sweetness to dryness. There is no real bitterness here. It's more of like a nice, I'd say semi-full-on dry finish. But I thought this might be too sweet, and at the end of the day, it's not sweet, which for me, I think that's a win in itself. So yeah, that was Orange Dreamsicle, Ellicottville. If you've had this one before, please post in the comment section. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Check back next Wednesday for another Western New York Wednesday, and until then, cheers.